Should you guarantee your retirement accounts? I'm telling you, pretty interesting. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on selling your house and living off the proceeds via renting. And I basically said you're going to rent, you got $1 million equity, just using that for example, and you're going to rent something for $4,000 a month. So basically $50,000 a year, give or take. So roughly a 5% amount, adjusted for inflation, assuming your rent goes up. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to put a guarantee annuity on your account or your CD, whatever. And we're going to say, can you outlive your money if you have a guarantee at a certain interest rate with our expenses adjusting for inflation? So again, we got $1 million. I don't care where it's from. We just got $1 million. We're going to put it into a fixed annuity. In this case, 4.85 is our rate that we're getting. And we're spending essentially $52,000 a year adjusted for inflation. I'll show you why it's $52,000 as opposed to $50,000. Anyway, so let's check this out, and we're going to compare that versus a market-based portfolio. So check this out. All right, so again, we got Diane Sample. She is 65, and she's going to live till she's 90. All right, so she's going to be around for 25 more years. Seems reasonable to me. We got a portfolio of $1 million schmackaroonies. That is right now in a non-qualified annuity. And we're using non-qualified because this is a proceeds from the sale of a house, for instance. Now, this may or may not be you. We can do a qualified annuity versus a non-qualified annuity. A non-qualified annuity means that $1 million she has is a return of principal. So she only has to pay taxes on her income that she makes. All right, so you can see right here, we're getting her a fixed annuity paying 4.85% a year. All right, and then we're going to go over here to goals. She's going to spend $4,000 a month. All right, $4,000 a month. That's $48,000 a year. And again, it could be on anything. It could be on rent. Could be on freaking grooming dogs. I don't know. I don't care. But we're just going to use that. So there's no downside risk in her annuity. But remember that 4.85 is not adjusted for inflation. So we know for a fact at some point she will dip into her principal. Oh no! How dare you? So let's see what we got. We're going to hit retirement, and we're going to say, oh, my land, she has a 100% probability of success. And she's still leaving $128,000 downstream. That's in today's dollars. So how could that possibly be when she has 4.85% that's not has no inflation amount, and her expenses are inflating? So here's her expenses. $48,000 plus $4,000 in taxes. So her expenses are 5.2% a year, 5.2. And she's only getting 4.85, right? So you can see her expenses go from 48. After 10 years, it's 56. After another 10 years, it's 66. And by the time she's dead, it's 78,000. So basically not quite double, but her expenses go up by 30,000 a year from now until the day she dies. And her total outflows, 52,000, because you got to pay tax on that. That tax got paid from someplace. It's coming from the annuity. So she's spending $78,000 a year when she started with $52,000 a year. So again, her expenses are going up, but her income is not. All right, so we go to, I think it's invested asset. Yeah. Here she's getting her first $1 million. She has a $48,500 rate of return. That's her interest. She's spending $52,000. So you can say her $1 million is going to be subtracted from the difference between her net cash flows, $52,000 plus the $48,000 that she made. So her portfolio balance at the end of the first year is down to $996,000. At the end of 10 years, it's down to $858,000. At the end of 20 years, it's down to $540,000, assuming she's still spending the same amount of money, $52,000 adjusted each and every year with inflation. Right? So you can see her portfolio return is going down each and every year because she's dipping into her principal more and more. Her principal at the end of 2 years is down to $984. The principal at the end of, we already said at the end of 10 years is down to $858,000, where her expenditures are now $58,000 versus $858 as her principal. Her principal at the end of 20 years is down to $540. Her expenditures are $66,000. Her portfolio is only giving her $28,000, so she's dipping into her principal. So that was pretty good to me. Again, she's not going to leave a lot downstream, but that's something to think about. And now let's just use the same thing. Say it's not an annuity. We're going to say it's an we're going to do a IRA. We'll just do it in a traditional, a taxable account. Cost base is $1 million, and we'll put it in an IRA. We'll make it a moderate portfolio there. All right, 60-40, is what we're doing, 60-40, which means she'll get a higher than 4.85% rate of return. She'll get, in this case, a 60-40 will pay us 5.3% with a 10% standard deviation. So it's, 60 basis, 55 basis points, a 10% higher annual rate of return. 5.3, all right, or 4.85. That's pretty significant, and not in 1 year, but over the course of 25 years, very significant. So let's take a look at what this one looks like. And let's see, does she run out of money? Oh, heavens, 50. Let's just get rid of this right here. We'll just make these guys similar. Where's the difference here? Blink, blink. All right, so and that looks good. All right, right there. Right there in my underwear. Right there in my underwear. All right, so 61% of the time she had money, but 39% of the time she ran out of money. You can see, her median, she still has 87,000. That's, not bad, but the guarantee with her lower rate of return had more than that, 40,000 more than that. She 25% of the time, 39% of the time she ran out of money. In fact, right there, when she was 2,047, I'm not sure how old she is here. That's 23 years into retirement. 25% of the time she had no money. Why is that? Well, because of this downside risk. It's just that simple, that downside risk. And if you want to make it to go to 30 years, instead, we'll just say she lives until she's 95 as opposed to 90. We'll do both here. You can see she's definitely going to run out of money sooner, or not sooner, but more times, because she's another 5 years to support her. So here's probably a 32% probability of success or something like that. Let's take a gander. 41% probability of success. And here she runs out of money right there. The median at 2,053. So that's in basically 30 years. Not 30 years. That's in 24. Yeah, about 30 years, right? 29 years. The median is that she ran out of money. Whatever that is. 2024, 34, 44. Yeah, 29 years. In 25 years, in 29 years, the median time she ran out of money. Not too good. And if we make this account, go back here to make this a fixed annuity. We can go here. Oops, excuse me, Josh, excuse me. We're going to make this a qualified annuity, non-qualified fixed annuity. We're going to make it a fixed annuity, pay 4.85, crediting rate 4.85%. Hit this guy right here. And let's see if we got that right there. Should be the same thing. Let's take a gander, shall we? And here she definitively ran out of money because she's not getting enough rate of return to support the increasing expenditures. You can see right there in year 30, she ran out of money. All right, so we see the median is the exact same thing as a 5 to 95% because it's just a fixed rate of return. So in year 30, she's ran out of money. All right, 2054, she ran out of money. So it depends on how long you live, but if you want guarantees and you think you're going to live less than 30 years, a fixed annuity is going to be better for it. Now, you're going to potentially leave less money. Potentially, you could have more spending power in the markets. But if the number one priority of it for you is you want to guarantee never to run out of money with no downside risk, and you think you're going to live 25 years or less, and again, this is assuming she's spending 5.2% of her portfolio a year, and she's only getting 4.85. But that's, I tell you, man, the other one, she ran out of money quite a bit too. 41% of the time she had money, but she spent 59% of the time she had no money. So while one is 0, and that's the annuity for 30 years, it was 100% for 25 years. You can see those 5 years right there really doomed her in. Whereas the other one was 61% and then 41%. Which is better? Well, I think the annuity was better because it's guaranteed. Now you could be leaving a lot of money on the table, I grant you. And maybe the next video we'll do if we did half and half. But anyway, don't overlook the guaranteeing of your retirement accounts. You can't do that. But you can't dip in a principal. Yeah, you can. On annuities, you have access to your interest. You have access. Most annuities give you access to 10% a year. It's just a fact without penalty. You got to pay tax on it, but on the interest. But without this really isn't that debatable, frankly. Love your thoughts. Don't forget to paw that like button. We'll see you.